I'm Stash. I had a dog trained by Aaron. So about a couple months ago, I got a new German Shepherd puppy. He's about a year or so old. I had him for a couple weeks, but he started developing some separation anxiety. I had some noise complaints about the barking, and I think the overall, I thought I could handle the training myself, but it wasn't really progressing at the speed I was hoping for, and I was getting busy with work and school. So I was looking for someone to train me. I originally started with Aaron actually in the private lessons, and we did a couple private lessons, but really the thing that kept staying, while the private lessons helped a lot, the thing that kept staying was the separation anxiety, because it was just hard to try to train the dog when I'm not gone, because he would bark obviously when I'm not there. So I ended up deciding to send him with Aaron for 4 weeks to do the board and train program, which I highly recommend for anybody who is considering getting a dog trained. I think the dog progresses amazingly well. But Aaron took him, I actually told him on a Monday night, hey, I need him gone, can you take him the next day, because I'm having these noise complaints, the bailiff's going to get mad. My kid tell me I have to get rid of the dog, so could he come? Came really nicely the next morning, picked him up, and then we kind of discussed what are the top things I wanted to work on, and he added his own things that just hey, these are the fundamentals I think every dog should have, and so we just kind of worked with what we thought was going to be the best stuff to address, and we went from there. So he took him for about 4 or 5 weeks, which was nice also that he was flexible. He kind of told me that, hey, I'm going to take as long as the dog needs, because before I did that I looked at some other places, and some places they said after 4 weeks we can give the dog back no matter what, but Aaron was nice that he said I'm going to take however long it needs. If the dog needs it. If the dog needs 6-7 weeks, I'm going to wait. I'm going to work with the dog for 6-7 weeks. Shadow, my puppy, took about 5 weeks or so before he came back. Coming back, it was a great process. We had a couple private lessons just for me to get used to it, kind of training me. The dog came back fully trained, I would say, but it took me a couple weeks for Aaron to train me on how to handle the dog, and kind of the dogs get used to me. But it was a great process. Shadow's completely changed since he's come back. There's no more of the barking or the destruction of the house when I'm gone. He does great, but also just overall control of the dog. I have near complete off-leash control of the dog, which is great in downtown Chicago. There's a lot of other dogs going around, and you don't necessarily know if you can trust them or not. So it's great to have a dog that's really now listening to me at all points in time, and I can control just given the number of potential conditions that arise here in downtown Chicago, which is great. Other things, his lifetime, private lesson guarantee that he gives has been great, because I've kind of come back, following weeks, with smaller things that I've said, hey, how do I work on this, or Shadow's doing this, can you tell me how I get him to stop doing this, or how do I train this behavior into him? So he'll come, the next day or a couple days later, we'll come out here in normally this kind of area and work for an hour or so, and he'll help kind of work with Shadow building the behavior, and then show me how to continue the behavior, which has been great. So it's definitely a process where if new things are coming up, I feel like I always can fall back on Aaron to help me out with the dog, which is great. If I move somewhere to the suburbs and new stuff comes, I feel very comfortable that I could always have Aaron to fall back on to help.